Hello everybody, it's Maikito. Tomorrow is the first games in the Champions League, so I'm excited about that. There's a lot of games. There's still I feel like there's more plays that they haven't added, but I want to get this video out early because I actually can this time. Usually when I post a video late, it's because props aren't up or I'm at work. But there's plenty of props out right now. I'm sure they're gonna add more later on in the night. But I just went ahead and thought I'd give you guys the ones that I did have. So I'll just get straight into those. The first one is Rafael to go higher than 4.5 attempted dribbles, playing at home for AC Milan going up against Liverpool. He's the best attacker AC Milan have, in my opinion, by far. He's a great dribbler. He's good on shooting. He's good at playmaking. He's good just in general in the attack. And I feel like he has the better side of the Liverpool defense because on Liverpool's left, which is where Pulisic is going to play, they have Gakpo and Robertson. Gakpo plays a lot more and helping in the defense than on Leao's side, on the other hand, where he has Salah, who doesn't help much at all at defense. And then he has Trent, which is a much better defensive matchup than Robertson. Besides, Trent also pushes up whenever he attacks. He moves into the midfield or overlaps and tries to send in the cross. So I just think he has a better defensive matchup when it comes to, first of all, physicality and then trying to defend them, and two, just being able to have more space on that side, which is what we like. And he dribbles more, and he dribbles a lot more in games that are 50-50 possession, which pretty much means playing against an actual good team as opposed to a team in the Italian league in which they control more of the possession. And if you look, for example, last season in the Champions League, he went over in 4 out of the 5 games. The first game that he played was the only one where he went under in, and that was 4 against Newcastle. He went just under. He has 7 against Dortmund, 6 against PSG, played PSG again, had 8, and then played Newcastle and had 7. He missed 1 Champions League game due to illness or injury. I can't remember which one, but he went over in 4 out of the 5 Champions League games, and they were all against tough opposition. And he's going up against another tough opposition now in Liverpool. And if you look at the game so far in the league, he's gone under in 2 out of the 3. But he went under against teams that they have more of the possession and are not nearly as good as Liverpool. He went under against Venezia and Torino, and the only game where he went under in was 5 against Parma, and that was only because Parma were up and they AC Milan actually had to attack and try to get the win, and he went barely over with 5. And the other 50-50 games last season, the ones in the league, not counting the Champions League, just for example, he had 5 against Inter Milan, 7 against Juventus, 7 against Roma, and 8 against Atalanta. And because it's just a tough Liverpool defense, I think, first of all, he has the better matchup on his side, and two, when it comes to these bigger games, he takes a lot more responsibility in the attack, and he's going to be there to take those dribbles. So I like Rafael to go higher than 4.5 attempted dribbles. My next prop, he got taken off as I was doing this research and stuff, but in the case that he does come back, you can take him. I still want to mention him. If not, you can still take him on sportsbooks. If you have sportsbook apps like FanDuel and DraftKings, I'll put him up on the screen. And that's Mohamed Salah to go higher than 2.5 shots, playing away from home for Liverpool on the other side, going up against AC Milan. He's gone over in all 4 games so far this season, and he's Liverpool's, in my opinion, first of all, most experienced when it comes to the attack, and two, their game changer. The one, if anybody's going to come through for Liverpool, it's going to be Mohamed Salah. He averaged 4.75 shots per 90 in the Europa League, which is where they played. And in the Champions League 2 seasons ago, he averaged 3.32 shots there. So he averaged over that 3-shot mark, which is what he needed to take. And he's a big game player. He's the one player in big games when they play like big games like Man U, Manchester City, and stuff like that. Especially in a game like this, like AC Milan, he's the one player that 99% of the times will play the full game, unless they're winning by like a lot, which I obviously expect that to happen away against AC Milan. He's gonna play the full game, which is what we like. He's also their penalty taker, so if they somehow get a penalty, he's gonna be the one taking that shot as well. So we like that. And Milan's biggest weakness that they have when it comes to defense is attacking down the wings, and that's exactly where Mohamed Salah plays. He plays on the wing, cuts inside, takes those shots, and Theo, which is just going to be his offensive assignment, which is who's mainly going to be guarding him, overlaps and attacks with AC Milan. So again, he's going to have that space to exploit. All the attacks and defenses is going to be on that side. Salah and Theo and Trent and Leao. All the attacks is going to be on that side, so he's going to have space to exploit, and he's a quick player. He's still, for his age, he's been doing really good so far this season, and he's also AC Milan also weak on counterattacks, and Liverpool are great at taking those as well. Even an Alisson long ball to Salah, we've seen it happen before. He can take shots from there as well. And it's time for Liverpool to bounce back after their embarrassing home loss that they just took to Nottingham Forest. So they're gonna want to attack. They're gonna be aggressive. They're not gonna. I don't expect a second embarrassing game from Liverpool, especially with this team that they have. And I like this. I like Mohamed Salah to a higher than 2.5 shots. My next prop, originally I have Ivan Nevstovic for Zagreb to a higher than 4.5 saves, but there's another play that bumped up to 5 as I was doing this play. So I think you're just getting better value by just taking the combo with him and Neuer to go higher than 6 saves. One, just because Neuer, in my opinion, will for sure at least get 1 save at some point, maybe 2, and you're just going to get better value if it's mainly, all these saves are mainly going to be coming from Ivan. But they finally play a tough opponent after, compared to the ones that Zagreb have to play in the league. They had 4 saves in both games against Karabakh when it came to qualifying for the Champions League. And if he can get 4 saves against Karabakh, he can get way more against Bayern Munich. They're playing against a way better attack in Bayern. And you know Bayern loves and strives against these weaker teams. They take advantage of the matchup, and I expect the same thing to happen here. Just last game, they played away from home. Now they're playing at home. And in that last game, they played hosting Kyle and had 12 shots on target. And the opposing keeper had 7 saves. They won 6-1 away from home. They have a lot of they have a great attack. Even a lot of options off the bench. Just some of the attackers are Kane, Olise, Gnabry, Musiala, Coman, Muller, Theo, Sane. So it doesn't matter who they start. They always have players that can play off the bench as well that can get those shots on target. So I just like this. You're just getting better value to just taking the combo instead of just taking the one keeper to get the saves. And with this new format, goal difference is a big factor. Before, it was just a 4 teams per group, and if you have more points, you advance. But now it's just a big 36-team group, and the top 8 automatically advance. And not only does points obviously come into effect, there's going to be goal difference. And with so many teams, there's going to be so the margin of error is just really small, and Bayern is going to want to take advantage of the defensive matchup that they have here. So they're going to have to take a lot of shots, and Ivan's going to have a lot of work to do. And then obviously Zagreb still don't have that bad of an attack. I expect them to take at least 1 or 2 shots on target, and Neuer's going to be there to save them. So I think getting better value here taking the combo. So I like Neuer and Ivan to go higher than 6 saves. My next prop is Kylian Mbappe to go higher than 2 shots on target, playing at home for Madrid, going up against Stuttgart. He's had 2+ in all 5 league games so far this season, and last season with PSG, he averaged 2.46 shots per 90 in the league in France. And then in the Champions League with PSG, he averaged 2.25 shots on target per 90. And now he's in a better team, in my opinion, where he can get much better passes and service from players like Vinny, Modric, Rodrigo, and Bellingham is supposed to start this game. He's been practicing for about a week or 2 now, and they've just been making sure he's fit. And now that he's fully fit, now he's going to be playing in the Champions League against Stuttgart. So he has a lot of players that can pass in the ball, which is going to be good for us. And like I mentioned a couple of videos ago when I took Tim Kleindienst to take shots against Stuttgart, I mentioned that this is a different Stuttgart side because they lost their heart of defense with Ito and Anton that both left 2 different teams. So they have their defense just really hasn't recovered from them since in the last couple games that they've played so far in the Bundesliga. They gave Freiburg 16 shots, Mainz 11 shots, and in this last game against Mönchengladbach, they gave them 15 shots. And Madrid being a better attack than all of them, I expect them to take more shots. And Mbappe is definitely going to be one of those. So he's going to get the chances, first of all, from getting the passes from his teammates, like I mentioned. And not only that, he's a great dribbler. He can easily create the chances by himself. Just taking the ball off the counter attack, or just however he gets the ball, he's gonna get those opportunities from passes, and he can create them themselves. And he's playing now for Madrid, and you know how Madrid is in the Champions League; they always somehow find a way. And Mbappe is gonna be a key part. He's done it in all 5 league games. Now he's playing against Stuttgart at home, so like Kylian Mbappe to go higher than 2 shots on target. And then my last player prop that I have so far is going back to the Bayern game, and that's Michael Olise to go higher than 2 shots, playing at home for Bayern, going up against Dynamo Zagreb. He's had 3 games so far for Bayern, but he hasn't really played a full 90 in all of them, and that's in my opinion just because he's still trying to integrate into the team and just trying to fit in with them as well and build some chemistry. He played 75 minutes against Wolfsburg and had 1 shot. He played 59 minutes against Freiburg, had 2 shots, and he came off the bench and only played 1 half against Holstein, where they won 6-1, and he had 2 shots. And if you look at him, his shots in the Premier League, last season he averaged 4 shots per 90 in the Premier League, and now he's playing first of all in a better defensive matchup against Zagreb, a much better team in Bayern Munich who can pass him the ball. So I think it's just a good matchup, and I think they're undervaluing how many shots he's going to take. I think he for sure gets 2, whether he gets that 3rd. So I think you're getting good value here, getting him at 2.0. And if you look at the shots he took last season, 34 were from inside the box and 23 were from outside the box. So he loves to take those shots from outside the box or even just right inside the box. If you look at the map, before he takes his shots, he will take them. And he's a great dribbler who can create his own chances as well. And he plays on the right. He likes to cut inside and shoot on his left. And I like to take those type of players that take those shots because it doesn't take a lot of space for them to find those opportunities. And he's also a counter-attack threat, which I don't expect Bayern to get that many counter-attack threats, but in the chances that Zagreb have and they're on the lose, Olise is going to be one of those players that they're going to find because he's a really fast player, and like I said, he can find those chances as soon as he gets the ball. And like I said, I think it's too low of a mark considering the fact that they're playing against a much weaker team, and he can get good passes from anybody like Musiala, Muller, even Harry Kane's a great passer as well, Gnabry, even Kimmich, who's going to be on his side. So like Michael Olise to go higher than 2 shots. I want to give a quick shout out to my partner Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. They also have a lot of tokens that they're giving, boosts you can add just on a slip. For example, when you do a 2-leg, you get 3x. Right now I know they have a 50% profit boost, so you can use those as well. You also get a free play when you sign up using my code as well, and again you also get the deposit match. So if you want to use that, link in the description. I also have my YouTube membership. For us, I want to get the plays out early before anybody else, before the videos go public, to try to avoid any potential bumps and plays getting taken away. Also a great way to support the channel. And then I also have my PrizePicks, my Fliff, my Cashapp if you want to use those. And for those that don't know, I also have my Discord link in the description. It's completely free to join. There's no premium subscription or no second membership you have to go through just to join. It's completely free. People talk about their own plays, their own slips, and that's where I also notify people as well whenever videos are out and stuff like that. And it's a great community I'm trying to build over there. So if you want to join, link is also in the description, and I really appreciate anybody who supports me in any way. My first moneyline play is under 0.5 goals for Dynamo Zagreb, playing away from home for Bayern Munich. You can also take, it's also a player probably you can take if you want to technically, which will be Manuel Neuer to go lower than 0.5 goals allowed. Bayern just have a solid defense, especially at home. They played 1 home game so far this season, and that's the one game where they kept that clean sheet against Freiburg. And Freiburg is a much better attack in my opinion than Dynamo Zagreb. And if you look at the goals they've conceded so far this season, one of them was a penalty, so obviously the team is very likely to score. One of them was a defensive mistake, which I don't expect that to happen, especially in the Champions League. And then the other one was in the late game for the other team after they were already up 6-0. So it's just not like it's been normal goals conceded, if you know what I'm trying to say. And last season in the league, they conceded 12 goals in 17 games. So they averaged less than a goal conceded a game. So it's just whether they can maintain concentration in this game, and I think they will. They play possession, which means Zagreb won't have a lot of chances. They're good in the air and they're good at defending set pieces, and I mentioned that because a lot of the Zagreb goals that they've scored in the league so far have been from set pieces, such as free kicks and corners, because their center backs and fullbacks have been the ones scoring around half of the goals. But they're not going to get that many opportunities to even take those set pieces because Bayern's going to have possession of the ball anyways. So the only chance I see them maybe scoring a goal is off the counter attack, but Bayern is good at defending those. They have a lot of great defensive players with Kimmich, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, Palhinha, Pavlovic, and then they have Neuer in goal to help them, even if they can somehow get through that. So I just think this is a good defensive matchup and a good game for Bayern to set a statement, get a good goal difference, and just have a good game. So I like under 0.5 goals for Dynamo Zagreb against Bayern Munich. And then my second prop is not in the Champions League. It's actually in the EFL Cup, because a lot of these Champions League games are either 50-50, could go either way, and it's unpredictable. And I don't want to take chances on the first game, or two, everything is just heavily juiced. So I did find this one in the EFL Cup that I did like, and that's the Crystal Palace money line against QPR. They're just a much better team in my opinion, with better talent, better attacking threats, with Eze, Mateta, and even the new signing that they have, and Ketia. They just have a great attack, and they have good defense, and Munoz and Guay, and even the Vibe, LaCroix, they have good defense as well. I feel like they're just a better team than QPR in general. And in the first EFL Cup game that they played against Norwich City, they won 4-0. That's because they played their full team. So it's not like other teams like Man U, Man City, Liverpool, that when they play these EFL Cup games, it's a chance for them to play their second team. Teams like Crystal Palace and like Fulham, they'll play their main team, because this is one of the trophies that they actually could win if they go far in. So I expect Palace to play their full team, which is good for us, because like I said, I think in my opinion they have a much better team than QPR. And Palace has scored in all but one of their games so far. So in my opinion, it's just about outscoring QPR. QPR is weak on the wings, and that's where Palace likes to play, because they play a 3-back with 2 overlapping fullbacks, in Munoz and Mitchell. So they play in QPR's weaknesses as well, which is what we like. And then QPR also weak at defending long shots, and Palace like to take those as well, with Will Hughes and obviously Eze, and Ketia will take those as well. And I think it's a good matchup, better team. Palace is going to play their main team, and QPR have conceded 8 goals and 5 games in the league, so they're not good defensively as well. I just like the matchup. I like the Crystal Palace money line against QPR. Thank you everybody for watching. Just quickly going over last video's picks. Was one away from sweeping the player props. The only one that I got wrong was that Saliba passed his play, and that was just a bad read on my part. I didn't expect Tottenham to have that much possession. They had 60 something percent possession of the ball, and I expected Arsenal to get 50-50. Saliba ended with like 36 passes, so if they would have had that 50-50, he would have had it. But that was just a bad read on my part. I do apologize for that. And then when it came to the money line plays, I had one that hit and one that didn't. Inter Milan just completely let us down. They tied against Monza, which was just horrible. But good player prop day. Money line was 50-50. So just a pretty good day in last video, and hopefully we can carry on that momentum going up to the first Champions League games. I'm really excited to see these teams play. And if, as always, which I probably will have added plays, because more plays will probably be added and stuff like that. I will add them in the pinned comment, linked in the description. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can all cash out tomorrow.